here, and Mike is doing his little post or pre-workout. What is it this
Mm.
time?
I just finished my workout and I just took a shower. Now I started now.
There we go. So we just had an interesting conversation about a movie that turns out that we both love.
Specifically the director's cut, because the regular one has weird like issues with time frames, and the director's cut is
Right.
significantly better.
The director's cut. It's one of those movies where I don't even watch the normal version anymore. I just pop in the DVD. I might even pop it in later on. Like that's a weird thing to say, pop it in, but you know what I mean.
Mine is my disc is like screwed up. There's something happened to it. Like when I look at it, it almost looks like under the plastic. It looks like almost like there's water. And it's not water, but it's like some sort of damage. But you can't find the director's cut in the digital format. You can't buy it like that. It's only the regular.
You got that with so many movies. You got that with so many of these movies. It's so fucking hard to find the movie we're talking about. By the way, is King Arthur, the one with Clive Owen, and you just Keira Knightley, and you just mentioned his name. What was it again?
Johan Griffin.
Johan Griffin. So this movie is actually really fucking horrible. If you start pulling it apart, it sucks. But if you just appreciate it for the historical fantasy epic that it is, it's brilliant.
Right. But think about the cast. Think of the cast. All right, listen: Clive Owen, Johan Griffin, Mads Mikkelsen, Joel Edgerton, Hugh Dancy, Ray Winstone, Ray Stevenson, Keira Knightley, Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård is like he's fucking brilliant in that movie.
Yeah, Graham McTavish, David Murray. It's fucking great movie, man.
Fucking that's it. I'm just after this, I'm gonna pick up the DVD and I'm gonna pop it in. I'm gonna make dinner. I'm gonna watch this movie tonight and just that's fucking awesome. But anyway, so we're gonna do a little bit of a movie chat soon. Just not even about a specific movie, but just you and me talking about movies in general and thoughts on shit. And we got something. Oh, by the way, without spoiling it, I looked it up. There's no digital release so far for that fourth movie here, but I'll keep an eye on it. Okay.
It sucks because I have it. I own it, and I should be able to share it with you, and I can't. That sucks.
Wait, the fourth movie, the digital already? But it wasn't like cinemas like what 3 months ago?
Yeah, but I watched it at home. I purchased it and watched it at home.
Well, yeah, okay, of course. This is still the COVID thing. Some of these movies are released digitally so much faster these days, and I sometimes forget that. So we'll figure something out. I'm going to watch it, and it's going to be okay. We'll do a stream about that. So first off, Brother Bear, how are you doing?
I'm alive.
You're alive. Okay, that's semi-positive.
Well, depends on the day.
Depends on. I get that feeling. Cheers to that. So let's just be very specific on this moment, right here, right now. How are you right now?
I feel good after my workout. Like it's a good that sort of. There's something about after you've had a good workout and you go after you cool down, you take a shower. It's weird. It's like almost like your skin feels like it's almost like glowing. I feel really like it's like good feeling.
I'll take your word for it because I never work out. I'm lazy as fuck when it comes to that, but I'll take your word. We got Gina chiming in, by the way. How you doing, Gina? This is weird. Gina just commented, and according to there's nobody watching. That's fun.
Unless Gina signed on and then signed out.
Yeah, it could be. Anyway, I get I do understand what you're talking about. So you just did your workout. What did you exactly do?
I did one of the Apple workouts on my Apple TV.
Oh, cool.
They call my HIIT workouts like high intensity, high interval training, something. But it's good.
Yeah, that means that you do things very intense, many things very intently, like for short periods, right?
With short breaks. It's like you do like 30 seconds and 10 seconds and 30 seconds and 10 seconds and.
So how did that work out for you? Oh, Jesus, that's terrible. Yeah. I didn't even mean that as a pun. I'm sorry.
It was okay. Sometimes I'll do because they're like videos. You watch them and
Hmm.
stuff, but like my watch connects to it, and and it'll actually show on screen like what my heart rate is and stuff. So if I know like if I'm not pushing hard enough, it'll show me on the
All right,
screen.
that's awesome.
But it's interesting. I sometimes I do the same ones a couple times because the moves can be a little bit complicated, or maybe I'm not doing them right, or maybe so I'll do them. There's a couple that I've done several times. I like the way they work and stuff. Today I did a new one that I hadn't done before,
Hmm.
and some of the movements were um, pretty hard. I didn't do them that well, but it was good. I mean, kept my heart rate up pretty high.
Maximum effort, right? Maximum effort. For the people who are watching, we got Cornet and Gina in the chat. Um, for people who are watching this right now live or chiming in later, this is not a beer chat. This is not, this is Keeping Mike Honest, part 5 already, by the way. This is the 5th one. And this is
In
where
6 weeks.
we talk 6 weeks in. We missed one because of the holidays, of course. This is where we're a sounding board for Mike, who wants me and us to keep him honest, keep him on the right track when it comes to his exercising, dieting, things like that, and getting back into shape and being this sort of. So we have this Dutch saying, which would translate to stick behind the door. Not a stick as in stick, as in sticky, but a stick, like a stick. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Which would translate basically meaning there's this thing waiting around the corner that if you're failing, there's this sort of I don't want to say punishment because we're not a punishment, but it means that you keep motivated because you know what's going on. You know what's going to happen if you don't, keep going. And interestingly, this was something I talked about with somebody earlier today. You're looking for some volition behind your motivation.
um, I was I was looking for basically a time that I would have to own up to my sins and talk about how I screwed up.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, let's start
for a
there. Let's
week.
start there. It's been a week. Let's start there. Owning up to
Yeah,
your sins, how you screwed up. That's what we usually do. We start with a negative,
yeah.
get that out of the way. How did you screw up this week?
I don't think I ate that well. I don't remember eating
Okay.
that poorly, but um, I, I've done like I don't know, like 10 days in a row with like pretty solid workouts, and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't really seem to do a whole lot. So,
Okay. So let's talk
um,
about what were your dinners? What were your lunches? What have you been eating and drinking in the last
I've
7 days?
I've been eating a lot of stuff my wife's made at home.
I
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too insane, I guess. Like we did, she did sort of like these like Korean style tacos, and with like a cilantro lime kind of a rice, a brown rice. That was pretty good. But the problem is that like I like rice a lot, man. I'll eat so much, and I gotta
yeah.
stop that shit because it's just fucking pure carb,
It's carb. It's carb loading, and it's not a
Yeah.
bad carb. It's not an unhealthy carb. It's actually a carb that, especially if you use the right types of rice, they're very healthy carbs. But like with anything that's healthy, even if you take too much of the healthy shit, it's still
Yeah.
calories. It's still carbs. So maybe you should explain, by the way, to people who don't know. Your wife is basically Gordon Ramsay could learn a thing or two from her, from
Oh,
what you've
man,
been
I
telling
thought
me.
about that. That guy's like Michelin star restaurants.
Exactly. That's
But
my point. That's my point. That's my point. For the way you've been describing her cooking, I mean, there you go.
well, no, my wife, she currently works at a bank, but when I first met her, um, now to be fair, like she was 13 when I met her. Now I was 16 or
Hmm.
something. I met her in high school. It wasn't like anything weird. We didn't start dating until I was nearly 30. Like
I know it's
much
cool,
later.
dude. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't
But
worry.
but
We
no,
get you. We're
but
not. Yeah.
but either way, what I'm saying is when I met her at 13, she was working in restaurants then, which is against the
Mm.
law, but she was. And she worked in restaurants until a couple of years ago. Her father got sick and she needed to take care of him, so she
Mm.
quit. And I mean, then when she went to go back to work, she went to work for a bank because it's more consistent hours, better benefits, time off. Those things you don't get in a restaurant. Restaurants are the most miserable. No offense to anyone who cares. Um, it's a miserable business to be in. It's tough, long hours. It's not conducive to a healthy social life. It's awful. And some restaurants are in areas that are, when you go into your car at night, not that safe. It's just not a good business. Especially my wife is a 5'1" Cambodian girl. She's little.
I've seen a few of you. I think you once sent me actually a wedding picture. And it's like you're a huge dude. I'm not talking huge, but also tall. Like you're a fucking bear.
I'm 6'2", 6'3", I think. Which
That's
is, I don't know,
basically my height. That's my height,
like
dude.
400 meters is, I don't know what that shit is.
Yeah, something like that, give or take. Yeah, it's like it's windmill height. That's what I'm talking about. Cornea is, by the way, mentioning, like you say, rice isn't a bad thing. Okay, well, we've talked about this in earlier streams. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, no, rice isn't a bad thing. You just have to, all things in moderation. Like, no matter what you're doing, it's a starch. It turns into sugar the minute you've consumed it.
Exactly.
The problem isn't that it isn't like having a cup. It's the idea that, like, if I have 4 cups in front of me, it's going to disappear. I just can't control myself. I fucking love rice. I've always loved rice. I've loved rice since I know how to cook it. I hated it as a kid because my mother didn't know how to cook it.
Rice is one of the best things ever, man. Like even things like sticky rice, dry rice, rice pudding, rice as a base on any curry. If you got jasmine rice, basmati rice, all those rices, if you just add like a little bit of soy sauce, some chopped cilantro, and some chopped scallions. That shit is just like, that's glorious, right? Oh, and of course, always jalapeno. Always jalapeno.
There was this place near where I used to live. I don't know if I brought this up on the show before. I probably did. There's a place where I used to live in Hawaii, and I would get there. They had like a chili basil fried rice thing. I would go like 7 times a week. I spent so much money there. It was unreal, and it was cheap though. It was like $7 for a plate, and like I could eat it twice. I didn't eat it. I ate it once, but I could. That's
the thing, though. And that's the thing, though. Again, just to answer Cornet's question, like you say, rice isn't a bad thing. Cornet, the thing is, it's all about moderation. Mostly, it's about portion control.
And I don't have that ability with rice. Rice is
fucking delicious. So this is one of the things, and this is one of the reasons that you asked me to do this with you. You know that I lost a lot of weight, and one of the things that I did to lose a lot of weight is portion control. Start cooking what you want to eat. So if it's 2 people and 1 portion of rice is 80 grams. 80. You want me to Google this? 80 grams to 80. What would you guys use? 80 grams.
I just do like measuring a cup.
Okay, 80 grams. Oh, fucking hell. 80 grams to cups. That would be about, so 1 cup of rice is 80 grams. Okay. So if you eat 1 cup of rice, but like you just said, you would easily eat 2 or 3 cups. So there's your problem. And I'm talking about uncooked rice, by the way.
Dude, one time, of course, that's how you have to measure it via uncooked. Oh.
Yeah.
One time, this is shortly into dating my girlfriend, now wife. Mm-hmm. I got to her house, and I think she was still at work. I was waiting for her to get there, and her father was he's this little tiny Cambodian dude. Mm-hmm. He's just like, he asked me if I can cook rice. I said yes, and he laughed at me because he doesn't think I can. And he had two big pots of rice that he cooked on the stove, and he told me to sit down and eat rice with him. Just rice, plain jasmine rice, which I still love.
Gorgeous.
It's
gorgeous.
But I ate like maybe 2 cups, and then he said, "Eat more rice." So I another cup, and he let me eat more rice. I just sat there and he ate. He was eating it. It was like almost like a mind game. I was like, okay. And he was just sitting there eating it. And he's little, like a tiny dude, like 2.
Yeah, but you have no idea what his daily, physical routine is. So to answer this, Cornet is saying rice is absolutely delicious. Do you think you can eat a lot of it sometimes, just not 5 days a week? You can eat rice every fucking day. Just measure it out before you cook it. Cook that and don't eat more. And that's the thing. That's what a lot of people do when it comes to cooking. They'll just boil all the pasta, boil all the rice, cook all that, whatever, and eat everything that's there. If you cook the healthy amount, the right portion, nothing more, and eat it, and there's nothing more except for raw rice. Well, you're not going to eat raw rice, are you?
I do think that what Cornet is saying, though, is that you can't eat a lot of it every day. Like, if you do it once a week, have a lot of it, not a big deal. If you're doing, 3 cups a day, 4 cups a day.
There is that. There's your cheat day. That's your cheat day. That's your cheat day thing. Because, potatoes are basically a healthy thing. But if you eat too much potatoes every day, it's not healthy. So once every week, I love potatoes and like mash or fries or whatever. So once a week, I may, indulge in, cooking a little bit too many. But that's just once a week. That's a good point.
Yesterday, me and my brother went to go see. Hey, Douglas.
What up, Dougie?
Me and my brother went to go see the newest Spider-Man movie. Anyway, but we went to a place called Chunky's, which is it's a movie theater. You literally order food. There's a menu and shit. It's a little bit weird though, because the place, it's sort of long tables, and the seats are all they're all Cadillac chairs, seats from cars that they
literally oh damn.
No, they are literally seats from cars. They get out of the junkyard. They mount them on these little contraptions so you can move them around. It's an interesting place, but the food is mostly sort of what you think of is kind of pub stuff, a lot of fried stuff, fried chicken tenders and French fries and stuff. It's all fried stuff for the most part. But whatever. But so I ordered a cheeseburger with had a sort of a spicy Dijon kind of a thing. I was like, I'll do that. And it also said they cook them medium, unless you request otherwise. So I was thinking, oh, they must be fresh patties, which is weird because this place is all fried stuff. I got this fucking burger that was so good. I'm still thinking about it, and I want to eat more of them. I just can't because that shit'll fuck me up. It was so good. Unbelievable.
So like a fresh burger. It was a freshly made patty.
Oh yeah. And it was
so
awesome.
As soon as I come over, you and I are going to the movie theater, okay?
All right, we'll do that. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. It was funny because my brother ordered a burger. It was different ones, but at some point, partway through, he looked at me. He's like, "This fucking thing's awesome."
It's focusing on the fucking damn thing, a fucking burger in front of you instead of the movie, right? Half the movie gone.
Wasn't a big deal to me. I assure you that.
I don't want to talk about this movie. I want to love this movie. I know too much about this movie already, and I want to love this movie. And I don't want you to don't harsh my mellow, dude. Don't harsh my mellow.
Well, fuck that movie. Anyway, no. I'll say this real fast.
It's about the rice thing.
It had the thing is, it's in real time. You're reading things as you're going. It's hard sometimes to get it. Or get it right the first time. And let's say you're off the cuff here. That movie real fast was there's things I really liked about it. The movie itself was not one of the things I liked.
Okay, I just need to know one thing. I just need to know one thing.
Yep.
Were they worth it?
You mean the?
Yeah, no. Were they? Yeah, were they worth it?
Yes. Yes.
I hate that I got spoiled for so many things already, but I need to watch this movie, and we'll see because I'm still a Marvel slut. I'm a Marvel slut, man. You know this.
I like good movies, so I'm not.
Look, fuck off. There's still. I will agree with you. There has been a bit of a. You know what? We're going to save all of this for a different live stream because there's something. Let's go back to the subject at hand. So, you wanted to talk about the negative shit, and you don't want to talk about a negative movie right now. You want to talk about the negative eating. So there was a lot of rice. Oh, you want to show me something?
Well, I was gonna show you like basically my workouts that I've done since the
Okay,
30th.
let's get to that. Yeah.
So I did an outdoor walk the 30th and the 31st of December. Then the first, apparently I didn't do anything on January 1st. But then from the second, this is everything from the second till today. Try to get it all into one.
That's nice, man. That's like what you're burning there is basically, on average, you're burning a very good, like a decent sized lunch. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, it was. I did notice today, like I said, I think that HIIT workout, because I wasn't familiar with the moves, and some of them were quite hard, and or at least to follow. It was my lowest count for a workout. Like since the second, it's been 399, 437, 369, 347, 317, 346, 368, and then today was 251. So it's my lowest calorie count for a workout so far. But I'm working on it.
Exactly, you're working on it, and that's the biggest thing. So it's always important to realize that the effort counts, and maybe your results aren't where you want them to be, but the effort you're putting into it is important. Keep a fact check on yourself. Realize where you're failing, maybe, but keep pushing, right?
Well, what I was doing before was I was eating things very specific, and they were pretty boring, but I was eating them every day, and I need to find a way to. I mean, they were good for me. I need to find a way to sort of do that, but still make them more exciting. I need to vary my diet a little bit. There's just a lot of foods I just don't like, and I'm a very picky eater. Cheeseburgers, I like those though.
If you don't like a cheeseburger, I mean,
yeah. But
there's something wrong with you, unless you're vegan. But I know vegans who would say, like, I do fucking love a cheeseburger though.
I know someone that was a vegan that liked to go out to eat and smell like a steak or a burger. Like if I was eating it, they had good self-control, because Jesus Christ, I couldn't do it. But I just heard a long time ago. It was just from a professional wrestler. I liked professional wrestling as a little kid, and one of my favorites, because I was born in the early to mid '80s, was The Ultimate Warrior. Because it's this giant, roided out dude. But I guess he would eat really, really clean. At catering, very, very clean. He would eat like salad and pure protein. There was no bread, no nothing. And before he'd leave, he'd go to the dessert cart and get like a cookie or a brownie or something. He would crush it in his hands, and then throw it away. And that was his dessert.
Here's a weird. This is going to get a little bit personal on my side. I don't know if I ever told you. I had a fertility check.
Okay.
Back in the day, we're talking about over 3 years ago. Me and the then Mrs. We were trying to get pregnant, right? Things took more than a year, and after a year, the doctors would basically say, "Okay, we're gonna have some checks done. Let's check stuff and see what's going on." Honestly, for a man, the check is very easy.
Yeah.
It's a shitty magazine, 5 minutes, and that's it. For a woman, it's a lot more intrusive. So we decided, how about I get checked first? Because if we know that there's something wrong on my end, at least it wouldn't be very uncomfortable and painful and hurtful for her. It also meant I couldn't drink alcohol for 8 days. Somebody who's into beers and shit, that's pretty rough. That was in the period where I still had things like maybe a rum or a whiskey in the house. So every now and then, I couldn't drink for 8 days, but every now and then she would just look at me and go, like, I think she was both very much annoyed, but also laughing a little bit. I would go to the cabinet there behind me where I had a bottle of rum at the time. I would just open it up and just go,
That's funny.
And just put it back again. Just go like, just because I get that. I get the need and the desire to have that thing that you really crave, but you can't have it for whatever kind of reason. So I just sniff that bottle of rum and go like, oh yeah, oh that's good. That's the good stuff. There's the oak, there's the vanilla, there's all the sweet cane sugars and everything, and then just put it away again and just go like, no. And that was just 8 days. So pulling all of this back to you, yeah, I get the thing that it's difficult.
Well, I had what I was eating before was I was eating a lot of I was eating a lot of salads for lunch. I wasn't making them at home. It would be a lot easier to do that, I suppose. Well, not easier, but cheaper. I was buying these like little salads I'd buy at the store. Quick ones. They'd have a little bit of chicken or something, and I'd have a dressing. It was easy. It was eat them, and you can stock your fridge up real fast. They stack easy. I liked them. They were good, but it was, I would have like just canned tuna fish, and I would mix it on a plate with like spices and stuff and eat it. I just need to figure out a few other things because after a while it just stops being interesting. So and you start like people at work are like, hey, we just ordered pizza. You want some? And you're like, no. Or do I?
I get the feeling. You know? We could talk at some point. We can do this offline and chat. I got some tips for you for nice meal. Hiccups. Nice meals that you can do for lunches, dinners that are lean on fats, lean on carbs and shit. That'll still give you a lot of satisfaction, taste amazing, be very healthy, and focus a lot on, you just saw the same comment that I did, didn't you? We were both. Sorry, I have to. I'm going to die and sniff the chocolates today. I get that.
Do you know who this person is?
Oh yeah, Gina and I know each other. We talk every now and then. She's one of my beer friends.
Okay,
she's hilarious.
Where's Gina from?
The Dutchland. She's German. German. Fucking hell. Dutch. So this is where my fucking brain goes. Dutch, Deutsch, German.
Deutsch. Yeah, I know.
Deutsch,
I knew
Dutch.
as soon as you said, I knew you were saying
that's where my fucking brain goes because that's the problem with being I'm not even bilingual. I'm trilingual. So I'm Dutch, of course. I'm English, and I'm mostly proficient in German. So when your brain starts thinking in 3 languages at the same time, I fucked up. Cornet, by the way, is on Team Mike. Marvel isn't fun. Yes, it is. I will take every opportunity to shit on fucking Marvel. Go fuck yourself, and I don't like you anymore. I'm gonna drain poor all the beers you ever sent me because you're an asshole right now, Cornet.
I like some of them, but Jesus Christ, like I don't know, they haven't had a good one in a while, and people just continuously. It's like almost like mass hypnosis. It's weird.
Yes, I'm agreeing on all of that. I mean, I do. For example, everybody was raving about Black Panther.
Yeah,
Black Panther wasn't that good of a movie.
I what they did to me, what I liked about it was I liked that it established a world that I thought felt like real, in a way, But I didn't like the plot. I thought that I didn't like Killmonger as a villain. I liked Claw. I like Claw a lot better. No, people.
People were rooting like Killmonger was completely. Killmonger was right. I'm like, if you think Killmonger was right, that dude was planning on committing massive genocide on the world because he got fucked up as a kid. Yeah. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to anyone? I'm sorry, but
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. People like what they like, but it's just like a lot of the stuff just isn't for me. It's fine.
Here we go. People are hating on Captain Marvel. What did you think of Captain Marvel?
I thought it was better than people let it on to me. I mean,
right?
But I still don't think it was that great. I know people that were very most people like the movie, to be fair. But I know people like, oh, it's like feminism. I watched it. I'm like, I don't know. It's just like a superhero movie.
Exactly.
then,
It wasn't everybody who said that they're portraying women to be stronger than men. No, they weren't. I don't know where the fuck you got that from, but
yeah.
so Joe's asking what's today's topic. Well, basically, it's the same thing as I've ever done. So we're talking about Mike's generic health. Is that health?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, to get a little bit back on topic, I suppose. I do think I had to have just not. I feel like I did okay. I must have snacked more than I remembered or something, you know. But I don't. I mean, I the snacks I eat are crackers and chips. I don't have that much in the house. I don't know. You know what I need to start doing? I need to start recording everything I eat again, and I do need to say what stuff we'll talk about offline, like different types of meals I can do to mix it up. There's just certain things I just don't like. I know people like squash and zucchini. I just don't like them. I don't.
So we can talk about some recipe ideas in the chat at some point in our messenger chat. By the way, remind me to install Telegram on my phone so we can talk on Telegram. That's easier because I don't have notifications on for Messenger, and we can chat a little bit easier. Now, I fucking hate. I only have. Same thing with Instagram. I don't have Instagram notifications on. Go fuck that bullshit. I don't want all of that. By the way, Cornet's saying, no, that's a big bluff. It is a bluff, and there's a backstory to it, but I'm going to bore you guys with that now. If you want to bore us with it, because we are talking about generic male health issues, both mentally and physically. So if there's something that you feel like you want to share and we can help you with, we're there for you. Otherwise, just drop it in Messenger and we can talk about it. And Joe wants to know how old you are.
I am 37 years old. I'll be 38 in a few months.
There you go.
In April.
And that brings us to another point, what we were talking about. Age and health. Health and age.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons you mentioned that you wanted to get back in shape because...
Well, I don't want to... when they start hitting 40 and then not taking care of themselves, things start to fall apart very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy at the grocery store in the little drive around cart thing. I don't want to rely on machines to keep me moving and healthy. I don't want to have a heart attack at 40 years old. I don't want to I don't want to start having an absolutely failing. I don't want to be jaundiced at 42. My eyeballs yellow, and I don't want my wife to be a widow in her 40s. And it's not that I'm super sedentary, because I'm not, but I definitely just eat fucking poorly, like typically, and like I've said this before, I especially when I was in my 20s, like I remember just thinking, like, people that smoke cigarettes or stuff, and I'm like, why don't you just quit? I don't get it. Just fucking quit. Just don't do it. Jesus, just don't do it. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, food is a real addiction. It's real, and and to demonetize someone else's addiction when I have my own, it's fucking, and it's goofy, like how
salts, fats, sugars, they are intensely addictive. We are controlling alcohol. We are controlling tobacco. We have outlawed things like cocaine, heroin, and everything. And on every street corner, you can get a fucking Mars bar for like 70 cents and a bottle of Coke for $1, €1, whatever. Yeah. You get this shit.
Yeah.
For less than €2, for less than $2, you can have 500 fucking calories that will fuck up your system in the amounts of sugars, carbs, fats. And we celebrate it. We celebrate it. We make it glorious. Here's your treat. Here's your feel good moment. Here's your, just like with cocaine, just like with fucking heroin, just like with all of this bullshit. Here's the thing that's going to give you a great buzz for a little while and make you feel great about yourself. And it's cheap and it's everywhere.
Yeah. One thing for me, the hardest thing for me is, and it's because I know people like even Kyle says he has a sweet tooth or he has all sweet teeth. You know, he's like, I don't, I don't eat sweet things. I mean, I drink soda. I guess that's sweet, but I don't like eat. I'm not worried about cookies and brownies. Like, I don't give a shit. It's still starches. Don't get me wrong. My issue is bread, crackers, chips, or crisps. Whatever you guys call them over there.
We call them chips. I'm not British, remember? We call them chips as well. Like, I got 2 fucking bags in the fucking drawer right there. I got like the Cool Ranch. Oh, we call them American something.
American. Yeah, I remember that.
Something like, but the Cool Ranch, the Blue Ranch, whatever you call it, like the Doritos, and I got cheese.
We call it Cool Ranch here.
Cool Ranch. You call it Cool Ranch. We call it something else. We call it American style, whatever. But anyway, American I got those Doritos, American flavor, and I got like cheese onion chips. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue. Seriously, it's like fried food, and it's stuff like that. Which it's all sugars at the end. I just get them somewhere else.
Let's get back to that point. Let's get to the word. I knew the word, but it's something just that came up today while I was talking to somebody. It's volition. Mm-hmm. So you got motivation. Motivation isn't your problem. You have motivation. What you need is volition, and that means that you make it a routine. You make sure that every day you do the same thing over and over again, and you don't quit. You keep going. You keep going, and you keep doing it. People keep saying you need to be motivated. Getting motivation is easy. That means that you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I want to lose that belly. Yeah, that's motivation. Motivation is easy. Volition means that you do the same thing every fucking day. That means that you realize that there's that bag of chips. When you go shopping, you see the bag of chips and you walk past it. It's that when you see the chocolate, you go, fuck off, chocolate. Fuck off doesn't mean go away. Fuck off means fuck off. It means that when you see the cans of Coke, Coke, not cocaine, but Coke, like Coca-Cola or whatever you want to drink, Pepsi. Who drinks Pepsi anyway? Fucking Pepsi. You keep walking, and that's difficult. And
what about this stuff?
Sorry, I just got a hard on. That was fucking.
Yeah. Even that's not that big a deal. And I say that knowing that I was with my wife yesterday, and I was like, I want to go to the brewery real quick and buy some beer, and I did. But it's mostly on the table. I didn't drink a whole lot of it, but still, even like just doing the reviews with Sean on Friday. I mean, I think we did a few beers, and they're all. I knew it even when I sat on my couch. I was like, man, these were fucking. They're high. It's not like I'm drinking a Coles or a
it's
Guinness,
carbs, it's sugars.
Brutal, yeah, and I knew that these were particularly high in carbs and sugars. There was
so what you do the next day. Here's what you can do the next day. Not just workout, but let's say it's a warm summer's day, right?
Yeah, right now.
But not right now. But let's say it's a warm summer's day, and you know that yesterday I had 3 beers. I'm not only being alcohol free today, but I do need to eat. So you take like these. You get like these cans or jars of pulses, like cannellini beans, right? Mm-hmm. Pre-cooked and everything. Drain them, rinse them. Take all of your favorite raw vegetables, things like some bell peppers, take some cucumbers, take some tomatoes, take everything. Make a simple but light dressing. Add some cannellini beans to it, or chickpeas, or you can make it in lentils if you want to. You can do all of those things. You can turn all of that. Take lentils, turn it into a salad. And don't eat any bread, don't add any pastas, don't add any rice. And
Thomas, stop being unreasonable.
No, but but this is where you realize that you can fill up. You can fill up on the pulses are a lot less carbs. They're still proteins and everything that you need.
I want to quickly. Yeah, I want to quickly get to a few things that
go for it.
This here.
Yeah.
So I'll go this one, then I'm going to go to his next comment as well, and I want to kind of talk about these things. It says about mid-30, I was starting to feel like I was losing a step. Now starting my 50s, I'm assuming I decided I need to start draining my bucket list, so I'm going to travel outside the U.S. At one point in my life, I decided to just live life. That doesn't mean I ignore things that are bad for me. I just need, and the thing is, all these things are good. One, traveling is very, very good. I traveled a lot in my 20s, and it didn't really, I didn't really think about it. I was in the Navy. It wasn't like a concern. But then when I got out of the Navy, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't care to do anything like that because I was like, oh, I've been to Japan X amount of times. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Alaska. I've been to all over California. I've been to Washington. I've been to Florida. I've been to Canada untold times. I not a
Who
whole
wants to
lot of
go to
places,
fucking
but
Canada though? Canada?
Canada is awesome. Canada
Yeah.
is awesome. So I'm telling you right now, it's awesome.
Okay, maybe I'll go to Canada one day, but I don't know.
Yeah, but my wife, one of the things we talked about early on was I didn't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want to be around kids ever for any reason.
Except for Sean's
And
kids. But that's because you
whatever
want to be
ma-
around Sean.
Yeah, you can say that. But what my wife said is like, well, we're not gonna have kids, then we better be traveling and doing shit like. And we've been to Spain, we've done Dominican Republic, and I've done Florida, and we've been all over the fucking place. It's we've done the West Coast a few times, and it's in just the last few years. You know, we take little trips on weekends all the time, whether it's just driving a few hours north or a few hours south. Just we're always doing something. I think that especially if, as an American, you can gain a lot by leaving the country and checking out other shit.
Absolutely.
I think I said I did Spain. We went to Barcelona. We went to Sitges, which is just south of Barcelona. I think it's south, but we took a train to Barcelona. Either way,
even from a European point of view, I would say that as an American, leave your state often because states in themselves are just miniature cultures already. And I know I know quite a lot of Americans, and I know quite a lot of Americans who've told me I've hardly ever left my state. I mean, compared to Europe, if you look at it globally speaking, Europe and America, if you leave your state, culture, customs, food, political viewpoints, whatever you want to say, are already vary. You can already educate yourself and become more of a, Renaissance man if you just travel across America in itself, let alone travel towards other, countries, go outside of the USA. Traveling is a good thing. It broadens your mind, it broadens your perspective, and it educates you, and it makes you more tolerant towards how the world works and other viewpoints.
plus food.
Plus food.
And I sort of mean that too, because I think about this when I was we went to Spain. We went to a place called Sitges, which is it's right on the Mediterranean, I believe. Well, I know it is. And it has a resort, but it's much like sort of smaller than like a Madrid or Barcelona or something, and you can go down these little narrow European sort of old school type of streets, and there's all these different little places with tapas and like these little things, and there's paella and like these. And you walk on the street, there's little shops, and you could smell just food everywhere. It's beautiful because the streets are so narrow and they're built a little bit higher, so it just traps all these aromas, and it's great stuff. Having gone to Barcelona, which is really cool, it's like it was still nice, but it's a bigger city. It's a little more global is the wrong word, but it's just the food's a little more like things I can find anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Sitges, go to a smaller place.
Yeah,
try that shit.
Exactly.
I've been to Japan a few times. Tokyo's nice. Tokyo's cool. Go to Tokyo if you can. However, I also went to Kamakura. I also went to Yokohama. I also went to Sasebo. I also went to Yokosuka.
Exactly. People like the Netherlands. People always say like, go to Amsterdam. I'm like, don't go to fucking Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam several times. I don't like Amsterdam. Go to fucking Rotterdam. Go to The Hague. Go to Maastricht. Go to Groningen. Go to right where I mean, fuck Amsterdam. I'm sorry, but it's not that brilliant of a place. People just hype it because Amsterdam. It's not
But
awesome.
I
It's a
but
shithole.
I also feel like the bigger places, it's you're gonna have more fast food. You're gonna have more.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more like like you're gonna have more general things. You know, I feel like when I was in Kamakura in Japan, that was where I had the best food. It was just
Right.
you went to
That's
some
the.
small place that no
Yeah.
one spoke English. You point on the menu what you want.
It's beautiful.
It's fucking beautiful, and food was awesome. It was the best place. It was weird because like the place wasn't that that in my opinion wasn't that nice, but the food was awesome. It was
It's not
awesome.
well. It's not nice from
Well,
a tourist point of view.
yeah, no, it was nice. What I mean, it
No, I
wasn't
know
like
what you mean. I don't.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like if you
I
go to
want
Tokyo,
to.
Tokyo looks like you're walking around a fucking video game. It's
There you go.
ridiculous,
Right.
you know.
I do want to comment on one thing. Joe said, "I want to just live life. Doesn't mean I ignore the things that are bad for me. I just want to be happy." But here's the thing: when I started losing weight, and I was like, "But I want my juicy, fatty food, and I want all the beef, and I want all the fat chicken." I realized I can have like vegan and vegetarian meals, and they still taste fucking great. You
Yeah,
can
but you
still
need to.
have the same. You need to know how. You need to know what to do. And if you learn that, you can have healthy dinners that are still fucking delicious. And
But part of the thing,
it's
though, Thomas, is that like
hmm?
in this is in the United States, what passes for like vegetarian food is essentially rabbit food a lot of times,
I
or
know.
it's some or it's some sort of imitation of food that a meat eater would eat.
I know.
The issue is that you can go to other cultures and where like just being a vegetarian is just or eating more vegetables or eating more it's part of the culture and the food is a lot better. They
Yeah,
do it better, and
they
it
know what
doesn't
to
seem like,
do.
at least in where I live, it doesn't seem like they figured it out in a big way yet.
I agree with you.
But
Like for most people where I live, they're like when they think about vegetarian food, they just think I have to eat more Brussels sprouts. Well, first of all,
yeah,
Brussels sprouts are amazing, but if you know how to prep them, they're not horrible. But people here, for example, I'm going to get back to this comment in a moment. Just naming Brussels sprouts. What is the Dutch tradition of boiling? Brussels sprouts. Like you
you got
put
to
them in
roast them.
hot. Yeah, you know, but
Yeah,
like what they do is like they put them in boiling water for
yeah.
like 20 to 30 minutes until they're mush and bitter, and that's it. That's what they eat. But if you like, for example, roast them or put them in a wok, like blanch them for like two minutes, rinse them on cold water, put them in a wok with some fresh ginger, garlic, a little bit of soy sauce, and add some, not a lot, but add some cashew nuts to it. Serve that over the right amount of, the proper amount of jasmine or basmati rice. If you eat that, I'm gonna guarantee fucking you, you're gonna go like, wait, there's no meat in this. This is vegetarian. This is vegan. Yeah, it's fucking vegan and it's delicious. This is, by the
I,
way,
I
the person who's going to roast chicken in a little bit, by the way, just so you know, I still eat meat, but I love vegan meals. I love vegetarian meals because if you know what you're doing, it's fucking delicious.
I like cauliflower, and I used to not like it. Um,
Hmm.
I've had it prepared so many good ways, and it's really really good. But the problem is, like, people are like, oh, do cauliflower wings, roast them, then toss them in buffalo sauce. Like, why? If I want wings, I'll do buffalo wings. You can do
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Because if you toss them in the same, here's the thing: people are like, it's the healthy option. No, it's not healthy anymore. I mean, buffalo wings. Of course, you got a lot of fat in the wings, but you know what's really unhealthy? It's the fucking buffalo sauce that you're using, which is what 80% butter, and then you dip it in the same freaking sauces that are all fucking fat, sugar laced. So it's still unhealthy for you, but you're getting a little bit more vitamins because you're using the cauliflower, but it's still unhealthy.
Yes,
There you go. This
he
guy
knows what's
gets it.
up.
This guy gets
That
it.
stuff,
He gets it.
that stuff's good.
It's not vegan anymore, but it's still fucking delicious. And you're eating a little bit healthy, and a little bit, not too much, but a little bit of bacon fat. It's not that unhealthy.
No, it's not.
It's
It's not.
not. It's not that unhealthy. You just add a little bit of bacon fat for some flavor. and your body still needs fat. But look at what you're getting. Look at what you're eating. You're eating a lot of Brussels sprouts, so you're getting a lot of the vitamins. You're getting a lot of the minerals. You get a bit of the healthy benefits of eating. There you
The
go.
thing is, you can also do this if you want to get. You can do a little bit of olive oil and then a little bit of like a sesame oil, like a flavorful, rich. You can do something like that too. Now, I'm with Joe here for sure. And this is
same thing. Yeah. I quickly want to get to this though. Sugar is a real addiction. So this is what we talked about a little bit earlier, the addiction thing. Like with everything, people are like, eating healthy is so difficult. It isn't difficult. As in, if you just get over that motivation and the volition and just get to it and motivate yourself and start going and start doing it. After a while, like with any habit, you can break it. Sugars, fats, they are all the easy gateways because it gives you dopamine. It gives you, what's the other one? The happy hormone, the happy thing, the happy dopamine and endorphins and
endorphins. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those. It triggers all of those things, especially when you're feeling shit. If you're feeling shit, your first motivation isn't, I want to eat an apple.
Right. But it's also, Thomas, it's also somewhat the way you grow up and the food your parents made for you. And so the things that are comfort for you, like those things they're deep in you. It's not the same. And I'm not telling you something you don't know. I'm just saying it out loud. It's just like food addiction is a real fucking problem.
I remember when I was in my previous job, this mom walked into the store with her kid in a stroller, like 2.5, 3 years old. The kid, not the mom. Kid was eating we call it a frikandel, which is basically consider it a hot dog without the bun or everything. Like it was munching on it, going like, no. I can guarantee you that kid was having a tantrum 5 minutes earlier, and mommy dear decided, oh, I want to shut you the fuck up. Here's some fats and sugars, deep fried.
Well, listen, mommy needs to shop too, all right? And listen, that kid's gonna fucking piss off Mike, and Mike's gonna talk shit to her until she leaves the store.
But exactly, but you know what I mean? That's what's happening. But that's what's happening. That's what a lot of parents and we all grew up like that. We were 2, 3 years old. Oh, you had a boo-boo, here's a lollipop. You know why? Because back then we didn't know about what sugars, we knew.
It wasn't public.
People didn't act. It wasn't public knowledge.
Yeah.
So here's a lollipop. Here's a snack. And a snack was usually sugars, candy, whatever.
Dude,
chips.
I don't know how it is in the Netherlands, but here at the dentist, when you leave, they give you a lollipop.
Fuck yeah. That's used to happen fucking here. I mean, go fuck yourself. How do you raise here? As a parent, I have done this. Yeah. I mean, I'm not berating you as a parent. Well, actually, I was berating you as a parent. But, I mean, let's be honest, I was berating you as a parent. But what I'm trying to say is every parent did this in the fucking 80s and 90s because I'm not a parent, but people didn't know better. I was raised like this. I was a fat, chubby kid.
Yeah. I almost everyone I know, like, not everyone, plenty of parents I know. It's funny that you'll see them with the kids and give them like chicken nuggets or whatever. Like, I swore I would never do this, but fuck, I'm tired and I didn't feel like cooking, so I just stopped at McDonald's. And it's funny because a lot of them told me I swore I would never do this. I swore I would never just give them an iPad to shut them the fuck up. And they all do it because Jesus Christ, kids are and can be, not that they are, but kids can be a nightmare.
I love kids. I want kids. I really hope. I still hope. I'm almost 40 and I've basically given up on all of this. I know it's never going to happen, but I hope at some point in my life I'm going to be a father. I can guarantee you. I have had so many kids around me. I love children. I want children. Children are assholes. Children are fucking bastards. They are evil. They suck. And I love them. I fucking love them. And there you go. I will, God damn it, fucking spam.
Do you know who Donald Glover is?
Who? Yeah, of course I
Donald
do.
Glover. Donald Glover. I knew him first as a stand-up comedian. I didn't watch Community or anything. I knew him as a stand-up
Oh,
comedian.
really? I only knew him from Community when I. Oh, I know him from other things now, but I used to. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Well, you should look up. He has a special. It's old. I don't know, over 10 years now.
Mm.
But yeah, he had a special where he compared having kids to having AIDS, and it's incredible.
I'll look it up.
He called children little Hitlers and stuff. It was fucking incredible.
But I guarantee you. I guarantee you. You know what one of the best memories is in my life? I'm not going to go into details, but it's one of the best fucking memories in my life is when that little kid took her first steps from her mom to me.
Oh, okay.
And if you ever want to experience dopamine, there is no fast food, there is no cocaine, there is no heroin, there is no crystal meth, there is nothing that will ever give you the high, the buzz of that.
I know people that use crystal meth and cocaine, and they would disagree with you highly.
Yeah, well, because what the problem is, it's easier to do that same high over and over again with crystal meth, and it's kind of you'd have to pop one kid out every day to get the same high every fucking day, So, but I guarantee you, it is fucking amazing. Yeah, I want to travel a lot more, man. This year, 2022, I guarantee you,
it's expensive. It's expensive to do it. I know why people do it.
Well, here is what makes it expensive. I told some of my coworkers that I'm going to go to the States for 2 weeks in the summer, assuming COVID is not going to fuck me over. And they were like, "But that's going to be so expensive." I said, "No, it's not, because I know people. I only have to pay for the plane ticket, and maybe a little bit of traveling in between. But other than that, I'm basically okay, because I got friends there who told me you can stay over."
Yeah, but the thing is,
if you don't have those connections, then yeah, traveling is, you got to pay for the fucking. Traveling isn't expensive. Traveling is cheap. Spending time in certain places, now that's fucking expensive.
Yeah, I think the thing is, if you say, I want to go to Rome, I want to go to Dublin, I want to go to Rotterdam, I want to go to Paris, I want to go to Versailles, I want to go to Moscow, if you're weird. But
who wants to go to fucking Moscow anyway?
That's what I'm saying. Actually, I know someone that went and said it was amazing. To be fair, and it was my friend's dad said it was awesome. Anyway, but and he's a like a really nice Greek guy. He's a super dude. Anyway, if you want to say you traveled, you can do those things if you want to be real specific. Like, oh, I can go to Rotterdam because I have a friend there, and it can be cheap to go. Mm-hmm. But if you want to do the things you want to do, not settle, it's expensive. It just is. Yeah. You cannot go to Rome and not spend a lot of money. Just can't. And so I get it. And for me and my wife, like, a lot of our travel, this is what our money goes toward. It's what our money goes toward for the most part. Like, we live pretty simply here. It's not cheap to live here, but
Go ahead. I want to quickly comment on something. First of all, Joe said having kids is like having a best friend that's always broken. Look, totally true. Again, Gina, I looked into this. I can go to the States on a return ticket for €350. The plane ticket isn't huge, but most people, when they buy a plane ticket, they look into the inclusive plane ticket. Like, where can I sleep? They look for all that stuff. A plane ticket in itself isn't all that. I mean, especially right now during COVID, there were actually traveling companies that were selling plane tickets for like a couple of euros. Plane tickets in themselves don't, but most of the time when we look for plane tickets, we also tick the box overnight sleeping, like hotel, shit like that.
Oh, I don't do that.
No, but that's what a lot of people do. And after that, then comes, I want to eat. I want to drink. I need a cab ride. I need a subway. I need a train. I need to go from here to there. I need to rent a car. And that's where I get. But plane tickets, I looked into this. Literally, a plane ticket to the States was less than 400 euros at some point, depending on the season, of course. A return
round
ticket.
trip?
Round trip, less than 400 euros.
That's cheap. That's not
But that's cheap. But most people look at it and then they have to but then and especially if you go I want to go on a holiday, but the traveling was like 2,000. No, the traveling wasn't 2,000 euros. The traveling was cheap, but you went for a resort, which had a hotel, which had all the meals and all the drinks and all the extra day trips you wanted to do inclusive.
Yeah, and this is true here.
Yeah. Exactly. But that was my point, Gina. My point was traveling, and that's the point. Traveling is cheap. That's the travel is going there. Staying, that's something different. And that's what people, that's the defining line. Traveling or staying. So that's what I'm saying. If I wanted to stay in America, I would have to pay like 1,500 to 2,000 euros for 2 weeks.
When I was living in Hawaii, I used to leave once or twice a year to go somewhere else because fuck that place. No offense to anyone. Hawaii sucks. But to leave was brutal. If you're looking for a plane ticket, it could be out of control. But if you just keep, I would plan my travel like 6 months in advance, and I remember just waiting, and I would see like 1,500 to 1,200, 1,500, and then sometimes you see 900, and you go, maybe I'll buy it, and then the next day it's 1,100. But once in a while you see like $665 or whatever. Buy it then. Even one time I planned my vacation, say July, I don't know, doesn't matter, whatever time, and about like 4 days before I wanted to travel, I was like, I just can't afford it, can't do it. It won't happen. And that day I found tickets home for like $600 round trip. Round trip. Yeah. In Hawaii to Boston is you're talking like 12 hours in the air.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if it now, but then there was no direct flights. You had to lay over, no matter what, whether it was LA or Chicago or even New Jersey sometimes for some reason.
This is, by the way, again, Gina, this is why I said I'm lucky. I'm lucky to know people that, but that's why I keep saying that again. I know I'm sounding like an asshole. I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but that's why I always hate it when people say traveling is expensive. Traveling isn't expensive. It's staying that's expensive. And
right, but I do think
just need to. It's a defining line that I sometimes get annoyed with, and that's just me being annoyed with.
If I talk about traveling, I personally I'm talking about from home to there to back and everything I spend in between.
That's the defining line. That's about definition. So if you guys were to say, I want to come to the Netherlands, dude, I got like plenty of room in my house right now. You guys can stay here for 2 weeks. I'll supply food, I'll supply drinks, I'll supply everything, and it's going to be fine.
Right.
But yeah.
But listen, if I go there with my wife, I'm not sharing your bed with you.
Yeah, but I got I got a 2-person bed for you. So I got two 2-person beds for you. So, by the way, when I said you, this is the bad thing. I kind of meant you and Sean.
I know you meant.
I see you as a couple.
That's fine. And listen, if you think I've never had to stay at a hotel and stay in the same bed as Sean, you're fucking. When we were once 19, 18, and we could not afford New York. Like we stayed at a hotel in New York once, and this is literally 20 years ago, and it was $500 a night, American dollars. Out of control. Yeah, travel.
And Gina's also saying traveling is expensive, Thomas. I know it is expensive. I'm not trying to belittle that, but it also depends. It depends on so many things. Like, for example, you just mentioned something very funny, right? People say, I want to go to Italy. No, they don't. They don't want to go to Italy. They want to go to Rome.
Right.
And Rome is expensive. You can go to Italy, It doesn't have to be that expensive. You just go to the non-touristy places. Where do you want to go? So people go like, yeah, you want to go to Rome, and Rome knows this. So people will say, I want to go to the Netherlands. No, you don't. Netherlands. You want to go to Amsterdam.
The other thing, Thomas, and I want to bring this up quickly is here. To go to right, but for some people, and I'm sure even you, 600 euros is not like easy money to
It
come
isn't.
across.
600 euros is a fucking lot of money for me.
It's a lot of money. Now the thing is, there's no way to go to Aruba without spending a lot of fucking money.
No, that's it. But let's say you want to go on a holiday, but it's how. Where do you want to go and how? So you could go to like
This is something me and my wife did a few years ago, and Gina, maybe you can do something like this. We were looking for a trip to. We were looking for a trip, and I think we were looking at like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or something. And what we ended up doing was we found through Expedia or Kayak, one of those places, we got a flight for both of us and the resort stay. And the resort was all inclusive. So food, drink. The only thing that you had to pay for on the resort essentially was if you wanted like top shelf liquor. Anything else was covered. So wine, beer, well liquors. I don't know what you guys call it in Netherlands, but like basically bottom shelf stuff. Everything was covered. Food, everything. And we got the trip, including our flight, and I think it was 4 days there.
Yeah.
And it was I think $1,800 or $2,000 for both of us, for flight, for food, for stay, the whole thing.
And for how long?
I think we did maybe 4 days, 5 days, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like for 2,000 American dollars, which is I don't know what it's like 1,400 euros or 1,500 euros.
It's a little bit less right now. I just happened to Google 2 days ago because of BCBS. Like BCBS is $12 for you, I think.
It's like now? $13 or $14, I think.
Let's say 12. Well, let's say when I Googled it, I was like 12 to euros, and it was like 10.50 in euros.
Okay, but
so there you go. So that was like 2 days ago.
Right now, but having traveled to go with my wife, we did this trip, and it ended up being affordable. But we had to buy it. We bought it way in advance. We bought the tickets like I think probably in December.
Mm-hmm.
And the trip was in like May, which isn't the best time in Dominican Republic, but it was good. We had great weather. We were lucky. But we at the time, this is years ago, we didn't have a lot of money, and this is the way we were able to travel. We had to buy the trip, and we did an all inclusive resort. We didn't do like I don't think they have all inclusive in Aruba. I don't think they don't have them in a lot of places, but this place. Yeah. But we ended up at this place. The food was awesome. The food was awesome, and it was just pools everywhere. And at the end of the resort was the beach, and we can rent kayaks for like a couple of pesos. It was cheap. Everything was very very cheap, and we made the trip. We didn't have options. We bought the trip in its entirety, but to take a vacation for I don't know, I said maybe 5 days 4 nights for like. I think it was $1,800, and when we got there, we upgraded for another $200 to get a place right on the water, but we didn't have to do that. And
it depends on where. It's all one of those things. Like, where do you want? Like, for example, we're talking about Aruba just got mentioned. Let's talk America again. People are like, I want to go to America. So what do we assume? You want to go like to. They think like they want to go to America, so they think about New York. They think about Los Angeles. Yeah, you go to New York for a week. Cha-ching. But let's say you want to go to something that people don't think about, but that would be awesome to visit. Let's say you want to go to Maine. Yeah, Maine's got some lovely places, got some great lakes and everything. And you go there for 2 weeks. You'll spend 2 weeks going to Maine, and it's going to cost you less money than going to New York for a week. It depends on where you want to go. So if you go like, I want to go abroad, but you pick all of the high-end places, like this is where I want to go. It's like the great, awesome, stupid stuff. Like You just mentioned Hawaii earlier. Everybody goes like, I want to go to Hawaii. Yeah, of course it's going to be expensive because Hawaii knows it's expensive. 20 years ago, Prague, right? Prague?
Mm-hmm.
That shit was fucking cheap. So people constantly went to Prague. You could buy like a pint of, and Prague makes some great lagers. You can get some great, the European lagers in Prague.
Pilsners and shit. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it would be like 75 cents for half a liter of Pilsner.
That's cheap.
Like fucking hell. But then Prague realized people went there because it was cheap, and a lot of those little places started asking more and more and more and more money. Oh, and here's a good one. This is what Gina's saying. I can go to Groningen in a cheap way, but hey, been there, done that. If I want to see the world, and that's the point. If you want to go to Aruba, that's going to cost you a lot of money. But there's other sunny destinations that can be cheaper. If you want to go to America and you want to go to the sightseeing places that everybody talks about, yeah, it's going to cost you money. But if you just want to go, like, I want to go to America.
I want to say something real quick. I'm going to get to what Joe just said here. Said, I hope I can do it. My kids are almost adults, and that's just free up some money.
Oh,
When I was 14 years old, I was paying rent at the house. I had to pay money every week. I think at 14, I didn't have to during the school year, but like during Christmas vacation, during summer vacation, I had to pay. Mm-hmm. I worked. I've had a job since I was 14, continuously, unfortunately. But I think by the time I was like 16, 17, I was paying rent every single fucking week until I left that house when I joined the Navy.
When I started earning money, and I don't mean like a little side job where I went like a couple of hours a week and just earned like a few bucks to have a. When I started to earn money. Wait, Thomas, you have to read the rest too, not just the Groningen part. I read everything, Gina. I read everything. Don't worry, I read it. I hope we're cool. I hope we're cool. If we're not cool, you and I are gonna have a talk. Don't worry. When I started earning money, my parents were like, "You're living here. You're earning money. You're paying for living here."
Yeah, so I'm telling you, Joe needs to start charging his kids. Is what I'm saying.
If your kids are living at home, Joe, and they earn money, make them pay for it. If they have the ability to pay for it, utilities, I don't know what I paid for a month, and it wasn't like 600, 700, 800 euros or guilders back in the day. But I paid money. My parents were like, "You're earning a little bit of money. If you're earning that kind of money, you're paying to live here because you can afford it." And you know what my response was? Yep.
I get very serious about this. I kid and it's all fun. I don't think I would have the heart to do it myself. I don't have the heart, but I know that my mother's husband had the fucking heart to do it. He did not give a fuck at all,
dude.
And he would taunt me throughout the week. Can't wait for Friday when you have to pay me. Can't wait.
We are getting very much off topic for what this thing is usually about, and it's 20 past. It's like you would call this 6:20 p.m. So at some point I need to make dinner, which is I'm not saying I need to cut this off right now, but I do want to start working towards.
I have stuff to do myself. This is the time for me.
What I wanted to ask you first, because usually we want to end up with a high note. What do you want to end this on? What do you want to talk about still? That is towards what we were talking about.
Well, one of the things I brought up last week is that I needed to not take days off from workouts, and I have not done that since then. I haven't had a day off from workout, which is it's not that bad, but not in I think 8 days straight. For me, that's a lot.
That's good because you've been actually updating me through Messenger a lot. I appreciate that. You have.
Yep. So
you've been doing that.
Yeah, I need to do that. And
so how about we agree on something for the next week, right?
Okay.
And maybe you should talk about this with your wife. Start talking about weighing down your carbs, your starches. So when you're cooking for you cook for 3 people, right? 3 adults.
Yep.
So unless she says like I want to cook extra rice because I want to make fried rice tomorrow, you guys should start talking about make this a joint effort that you say. I want to start eating only what is healthy for me. Now, if that's not an option, because she says I cook for other things as well, and I cook for leftovers for other meals, for lunches and whatever, calculate how much a portion of cooked rice is healthy for you in terms of the amount of calories and carbs, and weigh that with like you can buy these little kitchen scales for like a few bucks, right?
Yeah, we have them. We have them.
Okay, so
my
weigh
brother
down.
bakes. My brother bakes, so he weighs stuff. Yep.
Weigh down a portion of cooked rice. So you put the plate on there, and the first thing you put in there is the portion of cooked rice. So you know I should not eat more rice than this. This is it, and that's where your motivation has to start going into towards volition. Keep that going. Make it a routine that you know, even though you're like, I want more, and you see that pot of rice that you're like, no, rice right now is not my friend. This is a hard thing to do. Rice is not my friend. Rice is my enemy. This portion of rice is my friend. That portion of rice is my enemy. This is my fuel for today. That is me gaining weight, or at least not losing it. Start doing that. Maybe we can make that a goal for you for the next 7 days, where you focus a lot on rice, pastas, bread, potatoes, whatever. What is my healthy intake for a day? Weigh it out. And keep me updated on that.
Is health physical or is it mental? Because if it's mental, then all the bread is healthy.
Yeah, mentally, all the bread is healthy. Physically, it isn't. We're talking about your health physically as well. So I'm going to be an asshole, and I'm going to start pushing you. So I'm going to ask you to do this.
Yeah.
Send me pictures in Messenger
of my
or
meals.
Telegram. Yeah, no, well, not your meals, but as in prove to me that you have the plate on a scale and you measured out the amount of rice. And you're like, I haven't eaten more. I'm going to keep you to this. I will be your volition.
I probably won't do that only because
whatever.
But I will talk to my wife about, and like when she prepares stuff even for work, she'll be able to work around that.
So that's another part of your volition. She loves you, right? I'm assuming she loves you because she married you.
I don't think so, but I mean, strange things.
Okay. So I'm assuming that she loves you. So if you're telling her, if you love me, if you don't want me to die, and here's a nice way to test that love too. It's like, honey, I don't want to die, so don't feed me too much. And if she keeps feeding you more, you're like, you need to start being suspicious about,
My wife will tell me, if you love me, you rub my back.
Oh, there you go. No, well, give her back rubs then, because that's if you want to have some, give some, right? There you go. But maybe you should start doing that. I noticed you're looking behind, so I'm guessing you really do need to go.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna jump off as well, so I can start preheating the oven, start making my dinner. And this was good. We will be doing this next week again, unless something happens.
I do kind of want to say, because if Gina and Joe are still here, next week I do want to talk about travel. I want to see where they do want to go, because I think this is fun. The travel stuff's fun as well.
We'll talk more about travel stuff. And Gina, I'm sorry if I pissed you off. I'm sorry. I still love you. You're one of my best friends, and please don't hate me, because you are right. What you're saying is right. We all both have points, and I hope we can meet a middle ground where we can agree on what we're saying. I love you,
my buddy.
Bruce Wayne. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen him, that dog is literally called Bruce Wayne, and he has the bat signal on his collar.
He's the man. All right.
He's the man. Okay, love you, brother.
Yeah, my wife's calling me upstairs. I do have to go.
And I'll talk to you later. Cheers, dude.
Have a good one, bud.